hockey fans. Welcome back to the Oilers Fanatic. Well, we've had some big announcements over the past few days. Let's dig into the new information. Yesterday, Kyle Turris and William Lagesson were placed on waivers, and Stuart Skinner was assigned to the Bakersfield Condors. We got confirmation today that Turris and Lagesson cleared waivers. I was really impressed with Skinner's play in the preseason. The Oilers have two great prospects right now with Skinner and Ilya Konovalov. We know the Condors will have solid goaltending this season. Here's how the lines are expected to look. On the top line, Leon Draisaitl, Connor McDavid, and Jesse Puljujarvi. On the second line, Zach Hyman, Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, and Kyler Yamamoto. On the third line, Warren Foegele, Derek Ryan, and Zach Kassian. And on the fourth line, Brendan Perlini, Devin Shore, and Kyle Turris. On defense, Darnell Nurse and Tyson Barrie, Duncan Keith and Cody Ceci, Slater Cuckoo and Evan Bouchard, and Chris Russell will be the seventh defenseman. In goal, Mike Smith and Mikko Koskinen. I'm not a fan of having McDavid and Draisaitl together on a line. The belief is that it's just for the Oilers' home games and that they will be separated on the road. But even still, McDavid and Dry together is the Oilers' best weapon. I prefer having it as a weapon you can turn to if needed. If they are shut down, the Oilers are forced to rely on their depth, which certainly appears to have improved, but I still feel it's an unnecessary risk. We can wait and see how it goes, though. We know how often Tippett likes to change things up, so it might not be a long-term setup anyway. I think our third and fourth lines look solid, though. I'm disappointed to not see Ryan McLeod in the lineup as of now, but he's still young and just needs some more time. There's no need to panic. Ryan McLeod and Tyler Benson will be the 13th and 14th forwards for the Oilers. If Zach Kassian is unable to go for opening night, Colton Sceviour will take his spot on the third line with Derek Ryan and Warren Foegele. Nothing is official yet, but the expectation is that Sceviour will be signing a contract with the Oilers. I'm guessing the Oilers make the official announcement after they've made their final roster maneuvering to maximize their use of long-term injured reserve. If Kassian is ready to go for Game 1, I think we will see Ryan McLeod assigned to Bakersfield, so there is room on the 23-man roster to sign Sceviour, and he takes the 13th forward spot. For Tyler Benson, I think Ken Holland is working the phones, trying to work out a trade. The Oilers don't want to lose Benson for nothing, and I think it's close to a certainty that he is claimed if the Oilers put him on waivers. For now, there is no rush, as the Oilers can comfortably keep him on the roster as an extra forward. And you never know what happens. There could be an injury, and all of a sudden, Benson's in the lineup. The Oilers have unveiled all the roster moves they made today, so let's go over them. Placed on the injured non-roster list, Josh Archibald, Dylan Holloway, and Dmitry Samorukov. Placed on long-term injured reserve, Oscar Klefbom and Alex Stalock. Placed on injured reserve, William Lagesson. Recalled from the Bakersfield Condors, Philip Broberg, and loaned to the Bakersfield Condors, Kyle Turris. Puckpedia explains all the moves as follows. The Oilers' opening roster submission is $4.88 million over the cap, with 23 players, 13 forwards, 8 defensemen, and 2 goaltenders, plus Archibald and Lagesson on injured reserve, and Klefbom and Stalock on long-term injured reserve, setting that as the Oilers' long-term injured reserve pool. This is $68,000 from the max possible, LTR with Klefbom and Stalock at $4.952 million. With Lagesson injured, the Oilers couldn't demote him. If he's healthy and demoted, long-term injured reserve pool could be within $5,000 of the LTIR max. They can now add Archibald to the long-term injured reserve, making their pool $6.38 million, which is how much they can exceed the salary cap. They can send Broberg down and recall Kyle Turris and have $1.24 million of cap space remaining, which would be more than enough to sign Colton Sceviour. Lastly, I've been asked a few times about the Oilers' jersey schedule. Here's a look at what the Oilers will be wearing and when. I'll also post this on the community page if you want to reference it later on. What do you guys think of the opening night roster? What would you change? Sound off in the comment section below. That's all for today, guys. Thanks as always for checking out the channel and for all your support. You've been watching the Oilers Fanatic. Thanks for being a fan. Take care, guys.